Hey guys, how you doing? Been a little while since I've done a YouTube video. Um, I'm not as good as I should be at doing this. Hey, it is what it is. And I am what I am. And I do what I do. So that's just the way things are. Um, so what am I going to talk about today? I thought I'd sit down and just have a bit of a chat about, depression, how people struggle with depression a lot, um, struggle with motivation, struggle with keeping your life on track, struggle with training. And a lot of people say it's, oh, Nick, you've always kind of been fit. It's easy for you. You got great genetics, da 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 da. What about on the opposite end of the scale where people lie to themselves, where they say I'm big bones and it doesn't exist because they're overweight? And that's the opposite end of the scale. So people who, like myself, which have pushed and worked hard to keep myself fit, fundamentally what I've got is ADHD. And the HD is hyperactivity disorder, which means I'm very active. I'm always running around. So I burn a lot of calories. And because of that, I've stayed relatively thin for most of my life. I have put on weight a few times because I've got a thyroid problem. And I've struggled with my weight going up and down a little bit in my mid-30s. And I'm now in my late 40s. And I train hard. And I get up days and I don't want to train. And I get up on days and I feel like crap, basically. But what really annoys me is when I hear people telling lies to themselves, like I'm big boned, or I've got a slow metabolism, or I've got a low thyroid. I've got a low thyroid, I'm not overweight. We tend to believe the lies we tell ourselves, and then we tell those lies to other people because we want to support the fact that we're overweight or we're out of shape, and we want to make ourselves try and feel better about our condition. And a lot of the problem is, if we really look at it, it's just because we're bloody lazy. For the lazy patches in my life, I got really out of shape and I didn't have such a great body and I felt like crap, man. I put on weight back last summer, this time last year, and seeing the state of myself, it was sad, man. And I wasn't that overweight. I felt awful. So, my heart goes out to somebody that's got really overweight, because to be able to face that. And then when people now in the fashion world are saying we've got to endorse these bigger people. Not everybody's is thin. I get it, yeah. There are larger sized people, like I would say larger sized people, which are generally gonna be that way. I'm not saying everybody needs to look like a supermodel or be super thin, but there's larger sized women and larger sized men, and there's overweight women and overweight men. Now, a larger sized woman or man can still walk, dance, go out, do all the stuff that a thinner person can do. They can be active, have a job, they're full of energy, they're full of life. But if you're overweight and you're not full of life, you're not full of energy, you can't do all the stuff that everybody else does because of your weight issues, you're lying to yourself, aren't you? And this is where I think it's dangerous that we have these people at the forefront of magazines and newspapers, which are, you're generally overweight. They're not massively overweight, but overweight. But they're leaving space for the people to excuse the worst behavior, which is obesity. And obesity is going to be the biggest killer in society. My grandfather said to me when I was a kid, the deprivation of British society will be when we endorse American fast food and we don't cook our own dinners and cook our own food and we just buy stuff off the shelf. Bloody hell, he was right. Because in my lifetime, where there was only a few kids in my school which were overweight, now to looking at the next generation down, and I'm talking 30 years in difference, there's no excuse for it. It's ridiculous. It's all down to diet and lack of exercise. And that amount of growth in obesity and overweight people has nothing to do with genetics, and it has everything to do with how we're living our lives. There's no excuse for him. People are going to hate me for this, but there is no excuse for it. There is no excuse for obesity. There's no excuse for people which are overweight. There's no excuse for it. It's just laziness. That's the only excuse. The bloody laziness. You know, that's it. Face the fact, people. You're overweight because you're lazy and you can't be bothered to do anything. And if you said that to me, I'm overweight because I'm lazy, you know what, I can't be bothered and I don't really care, I would be like, respect to you. I respect you so much if you would just told the bloody truth instead of lying to everybody and yourself. It's so bloody frustrating that people lie to themselves. Stop lying. It's a choice. You choose to sit on your ass and do nothing with your life, so you've gained weight. That's the truth of it. Now, there's a minority, a very small minority, which have health problems, serious health problems, which have made them gain the weight, yeah? And I really feel sorry for them, because I guaranteed they would do anything to be in the body of the person which is making excuses about being overweight, which is not doing anything with their lives. There's people in wheelchairs because they've had a motorbike accident or they've had a serious accident. They've gained weight because they can't exercise. And there's people which are able-bodied with 2 legs, which are obese and overweight, which have no excuse. Because you can walk, you can get to the gym, you can do stuff with your life. You just choose not to. You choose not to, and be honest. Stop lying to people. Tell the truth to each other. I'm bloody lazy. And stop making excuses, because it's stupid. It just makes everybody else in the world, like me, that makes the bloody effort to train, and makes the effort to eat healthy, and makes the effort to get my body in shape, frustrated because I know it's a lie. Every fit person out there looks at overweight people and people which are making excuses, and you look at the way they are living their lives and the way we live our lives, and there's your answer. We exercise, we eat healthy, we have an active life, we make an effort to make sure we don't overeat and we don't eat shit and we don't eat pre-prepared food, and we cook our own dinners. And I allow myself to have a homemade pizza, or I go to a really good Italian restaurant and have a good homemade pizzas. But I don't eat the big thick crust fast food pizza every week. I don't go out to have fish and chips or eat crap food or have high sugary drinks or have candy in here. I just don't do it. I eat the odd bit of chocolate once a week. I have the odd bit of meat here and there in my diet. I've cut everything back, and guess what? I've never felt better. But when I was having an unhealthy life and I was doing all of the stuff that was wrong for me, within a very short period of time, I gained weight and I felt like crap about myself. Stop bullshitting yourself and stop lying to yourself and stop saying all of the stuff which isn't true. This is my viewpoint, and you could say I'm wrong, right? But there's a lot of people out there that are overweight which will agree with me. Yes, I'm lazy and I don't go to the gym and I don't train because I make stupid ass excuses all of the time and I don't get my act together. That's the truth. You know, that's the truth of it. I've got plenty of friends which are overweight, and when I've asked them, I said, be really true for me. What is the real reason why do you think you're overweight? And nearly every one of them said to me, they eat through comfort, through depression, because it makes them feel better, and then they gain weight, which makes them feel like shit, so they get more depressed, so they eat more, and it's a downward spiral. You know, they comfort eat because the fundamentality of most obesity is depression. So what do you need to do to get out of depression? You train, you go to the gym, you walk, you get out, and you talk about it. You don't sit there waiting for the great answer to happen to you. You know, I get depression. I feel like shit about my life some days. I get up and I don't want to get out of bed. I wonder why I even bother. But I get up and I fight, because I know if I don't, I'll give up. And when you give up, guess what? Then life just goes down a downward spiral, you know? And you just end up hating yourself, and the more you hate yourself, the more depressed you get and more you give up on yourself. So stop making excuses, stop bloody lying, and start telling each other the truth in this world, because the truth is going to wake us all up. If there's an overweight person and he's truthful and says, I'm lazy, I eat the wrong foods, I don't do much with my life, and this is a result of it, guess what? Kids then are just starting to do the same thing, and they're just going down that pathway. Will look at you and you say to them, don't do this. Like smokers which have cancer because they've been smoking all their life. Alcoholics which have drunk themselves to death will tell the youth, don't do this. Because they are the ones that are there. You're the ones, if you're obese and you're overweight, tell the truth and tell kids what you're doing and tell them how you started, and be honest and sit in front of the camera and help people. Don't lie. Stop lying. Stop trying to mislead yourself and other people. I respect anybody with the strength to sit in front of the camera and stop bullshitting and start telling the truth. Because that's the only thing that's going to change us. Got it off my chest. You can hate me if you want. I don't care. Because you know what? You're not hating me. You're hating yourself for me telling you the truth. Because guess what? The truth bloody hurts. And my channel will most probably go banned because of this. But guess what? I'll find another channel. I'll put the video up and I'll keep putting it up. I don't care if you've become upset or not. That's your problem. I've not triggered you. I've not made you upset. You've become upset because guess what? The truth hurts. Life hurts. Life is full of shit that's going to kick you in the ass. And if you don't turn around and kick yourself in the ass and stop making excuses, life is going to shit on you from every single angle until you wake the hell up. Tell the truth. Stop lying to yourself. Peace, love, and unity. And the only way we're going to get to that is with truth. My intention was never to upset you. It was to wake you up. Just wake up.